looking at it, yeah.
Well, gee, Ed, a 15 by 18 hole in the side of a plane, no indication of a bomb.
Uh-huh.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, that doesn't make much. I mean, what could it be? You know, I mean, a hole, a gaping hole. And then he had the commercial for the...
Well, people that know something about airplanes say that it's quite possible if a window blew that it would just...
Yeah, but I mean, just prior to that, about a half an hour prior, he played a tape of some Japanese guy saying that if it's not something's not done by the 24th, which is today, that there would be a bomb on some plane coming from Honolulu. But at any rate, no indications of a bomb.
No, there weren't any indications of a bomb.
I have a problem.
I've got one, too. Yeah, go ahead.
I have got to pick up my mother.
Uh-huh.
She called that at the airport in Clearwater.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I told her I quit smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I got to pick her up in my car. The car stinks of cigarette smoke.
Mm-hmm.
The ashtray is full.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go to Clearwater.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do?
I don't know.
Oh, you're not biting?
No.
Oh? Okay. Well, if you won't bite, then I'll just hang up.
Oh, you could do that. I really don't care one way or the other.
Oh. Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Should I hang up?
If you'd like.
Are you mad at me?
Break my heart.
Are you mad at me?
Oh, I'm real disgusted when people get on other people's shows and accuse me of moving people around from place to place to place, and then moving my own schedule so as to avoid the humiliation of the ratings. I'm real disgusted with that, Schmo.
Well, okay,
I'd like to know where the hell you think you get off making an accusation like that. I, first of all, have nothing whatsoever to do with your good buddy Liz Richards bombing out in her time slot. I think one of the reasons that she did bomb out is because every day she had people like you on over and over and over and over again. Anything else?
No.
Great. Bye. Tampa, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Oh, yeah, that guy was a schmo. They got it right. I just got to, make some brief comments on the issues of the day.
Okay.
First of all, I thought that I would ask, how are you, Bob, for the 18 millionth time?
Oh, I'm not even sure that I still have the game. Wait a second.
I'm sitting on it, Bob.
Oh, sure. You know,
There it is.
of course it was a bomb. Of course it was. They're just trying to keep us calm, but that's okay. Of course, with tasty cakes, the oatmeal raisin cakes are the best. So always keep that in mind. And the last thing...
Oatmeal raisin cakes?
The oatmeal raisin. Well,
What do you think, what, a weirdo or something? Oatmeal raisin cakes, the best tasty cakes?
Well, sure. They have the less nuclear waste in them. But that's not important now. If you want to break the hearts of some 14-year-old girls...
Oh, no. Wait. There are two kinds of tasty cakes that are superior, all right? We have the chocolate cupcakes, of course, if you have milk that is at about 35 degrees, maybe even 34, if your teeth can handle it. And then, of course, the lemon tasty pies. Apple tasty pies after that, peach after that. The rest of the tasty cake line is fine. There's utterly nothing wrong with it. But to say that the oatmeal raisin cake, gag me with a spoon, you know?
I just feel like John Denver or Ewell Gibbons when I'm eating those oatmeal raisin cakes.
Well, wait a second. You mean you're trying to take over the world?
Take over the world?
Yeah, John Denver. Everybody accuses John Denver of being for one world government.
Oh, no, I just always think of him in a cowboy hat standing with rams, in Colorado.
Really? Fez, how do you stand on that?
I stand with Rams any day, Bob.
That you do.
Well, the last thing,
Yeah.
if you want to break some hearts of 14-year-olds, it's a fact now, Mason Dixon's real name is Jimmy Crawford. And I'm sure nobody cares, but at least the world knows.
Are you serious about that?
Absolutely.
You mean Mason Dixon isn't his real name?
That's right. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
You mean he's got a deformity like that, and Mason Dixon isn't his real name either?
Well, that's just the way it is. It's the radio game.
Oh, no.
Bob, it's not that unusual. With people that I'm with in the evenings, their names are always different, too.
I'll bet they are again, Fez.
Listen, it's been a pleasure, Bob.
What, with Fez?
Well, just being on the Bob Lassiter program, it's something that I've been living for some time now.
Don't forget to pick me up now.
Most of the time, I'm pretty happy about being on the Bob Lassiter show, too. I can understand how you feel. There are some days I'm not too thrilled about it, but most of the days, I know where you're coming from, except, of course, for this oatmeal raisin situation.
Oh, we're not going to get back to this tasty cake problem
I would certainly hope not.
It's been a pleasure.
Be good.
Thank you.
990-9352 in Hillsborough, 461-9352 in Pinellas. A Friday, anything goes. Unbelievable situation on the Fenordner. It has been twinkling beautifully all afternoon. The last couple of minutes, obviously you bring up tasty cake oatmeal raisin cakes. It's enough to drive anybody off the phone. I well understand. But we've gotten rid of that caller. Schmo from Odessa is gone as well. 990-9352. Oh, a couple of things I want to remind you of. Next Friday, it's too bad the live studio audience won't be here next Friday, because next Friday we're holding a radiothon. Next Friday is the 1-year anniversary. The 1-year anniversary of the plate makers taking over WPLP and turning it into WTKN with a 0.9. That's a 0.9. 12 plus. So we have decided on the 1-year anniversary to hold a radiothon for WTKN. We're going to be asking you to call up and pledge time that you will listen to WTKN to try to get them up over a 1 share. So, if you can spare 10, 15 minutes, call up, make a pledge. We'll record it. We'll, of course, have celebrities in here entertaining you. There's Nanushka, the dancing bear. There's the accordion lady will be in here next weekend, too. So remember, next Friday, the WTKN Radiothon. Don Richards standing by in the WFLA newsroom. Donald?
We'll find a backup along Fletcher westbound from 15th Street over to 275. That blocking Nebraska at times. Parsons and Wheeler with injuries in Brandon. Andy Pinellas County still clearing up Alberton Road and 49th Street North. I'm Gary McHenry, totally ignoring... Who's that, Spaz Whatley?
It's Fez Whatley.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. What can I do for you, so to speak?
I just wanted to be on the radio.
That's a shame. I'm Gary McHenry, 970 WFLA Airborne Traffic.
Well, thank you, Donald. 4:35 the time. Tampa. Hi, Tampa. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, Mr. Lassiter.
Yes,
I was driving down Mayberry a couple nights ago, and just referring to a phone call you had a few minutes ago about Joe Retner's and Mako's and Donatello's, or that famous restaurant you ate at one night ago. And I was thinking, for entertainment, what if we had some naked female Italian waitresses that do acrobatics and slap you on the back? And that would keep guys like me from running into the pheasant.
Well, it doesn't really make any difference to me, clothed, unclothed. I've just been saluted all I care to be saluted.
What about the pheasant?
What about the pheasant, sir?
Where's the pheasant?
Would you like to see the pheasant naked slapping you on the back?
No, I don't want to see the pheasant.
Why don't you want to see the pheasant?
Pheasant.
Caller, how many times have you seen the movie Deliverance?
Pheasant, if I want to do a dress you, I'll just let you put your own dress on.
Wait a second. You want to dress the pheasant?
If I wanted to address him, I'll just let him put his own dress on.
Why do you want to dress the pheasant?
But I don't take kindly to folks like the pheasant.
Well, you don't think what?
I don't take kindly to folks like the pheasant.
What do you mean they don't count folks like the pheasant?
I don't take kindly to them.
You don't take kindly to them?
That's right.
Well, why not?
And I think he's a homo. You don't.
No, sir. He's not home. He's here in the studio.
He sounds like he's at homo.
No, sir. I know that, what with the quality of electronics today, it can sound as though he were actually at home, but he is not.
Just like your saxophone back there. There's a nice sampling saxophone you got back there.
Well, thank you. You enjoy the saxophone playing?
Yeah, could you play a few more notes for me?
Are you serious? You really want to?
Yeah, I'd like to hear you.
1 and 2 and... 2, 3.
Sounds like chocolate. That sounds like the chocolate commercial.
Chocolate commercial? What do you mean?
N-E-L-E-S-T-S. Chocolate makes the very best.
Sir, I mean, you've got such a tin ear, that's beyond... That is the #1 song, sir. That's the song that the entire country has been... That's Don't Worry, Be Happy. Would you like
that
to hear
was Don't Worry, Be Happy?
Yes. Would you like to hear it again?
I would love to.
1 and 2 and... 2 and 3.
That's right. Be happy.
Right.
Don't worry.
Well, I played it an octave higher.
You did?
Yeah.
Can you play all up in the altissimo range?
I beg your pardon, sir?
In the altissimo range, can you play up there?
I can't have language like that on the air, sir.
That's not bad language.
Well, sir, maybe not where you come from, but in this studio it is. And I simply cannot tolerate that kind of talk. I'm going to have to move along. 990-9352 in Hillsborough, 461-9352 in Pinellas. Paul Porter is sitting at the WFLA sports desk, two of them, one on and one day and one a week later. And have everybody quit smoking. Have everybody take Dr. Sobel's Quit for Life program. It works. It's worked for me. It's worked for a lot of other people, and it can work for you and your friends. And just have Dr. Sobel come over to the house and have a quit smoking. It's kind of like a Tupperware party, except you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to take anything home that you don't want. All you have to do is do something that you want to do. Quit smoking. Quit for Life with Dr. Robert Sobel. $37.50, 2 one-hour sessions, no gimmicks. You don't have to have a cot there so people can be hypnotized or a tray to hold the staples that are taken out of the ears. None of that kind of stuff. Just a sensible, sane way to quit smoking with Dr. Robert Sobel. Let me give you the telephone number, okay? 787-5530. 787-5530. If you don't want to hold a party, you can go to Dr. Sobel's office, or you can get the book of the tape. But for goodness sake, get off your duff and quit smoking once and for all. Become a former smoker, a non-smoker, whatever it is that you want to be. 787-5530. Quit for Life with Dr. Sobel. $37.50. You can't go wrong. St. Petersburg. Hi there, St. Peter. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hi, Bob.
Hey.
GT doesn't want me to call you. This phone booth's got no windows in it, no door, and they're making it tough on me.
Oh, well, you know how it is with General von Ordner.
It's cold.
Exactly. They just want you to send the money in.
I heard, yeah, right. Put my quarter in.
Right. Well, actually, I'd prefer you put a couple of dollars in an envelope and send it to them.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And make a contribution to buy a window here.
Mm.
I heard somebody give Mason Dixon's real name. I didn't know, not that I care, but I thought I'd tell you a little story about 101 and their traffic report.
101 of their traffic report, yeah?
Yeah, they started it, 7, 8, 9 months ago, and they started doing a whole lot of promos on it.
Oh, they've got the same, they've got that, syndicated traffic service, same one that TKN has.
Well, let me tell you what happened.
Yeah.
They decided they were going to hire this guy named Alan Brown to do their traffic reports. And they offered him $350 a week to do it.
Whoa, big time bucks. Yeah.
When it came time to sign the employment contract, they dropped it down to $300.
No.
Yeah, and Al Brown said, forget it, I'm not going to do it. So they'd done all these promos for all these weeks with the name Al Brown.
Yeah.
And Al Brown didn't do the traffic reports. So they had somebody else go in there and use Al Brown's name because they spent so much money on the promos.
Holy cow! And this is big time radio. And what was that station again?
I think it's 101. I know it's 101.
Oh, wait a second here. We're getting some Joy 101. Joy.
What's that? We're the one that plays the oldies all the time. Yeah, 100.7. Is that what it is?
That's Joy 101. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Son of a gun, and they tried to screw the guy for $50 a week.
$50 a week.
A big station like that?
Yeah.
And a big market like that.
And they spent all that money on the promo, so there was, because I know Al Brown, I turned it on.
Joy 101 did this?
Yeah. I swore that doesn't sound like Alan. I saw Alan a few months later.
Son of a gun. That's an incredible story. Yeah. I mean, even TKN.
I figured
Shorty Obarski wouldn't pull a stunt like that.
I figured they were
would have never offered that kind of money to start with.
Yeah, well, after they must have spent $300 on the promos.
Because, Shorty Obarski never pays anybody over $3.50 an hour anyway.
Hey, we got to do something about saving Sam. He's driving me crazy.
Take it or leave it. $3.50 an hour. Who said that? Who said that? Me, down here below the desk. Oh.
Hey, is Gary McHenry listening? Maybe he want to go to work there.
Gary McHenry? I don't know. Gary's getting at least $4 1/4.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, he's up at the big time now. He drives a hard bargain. I've seen his contract. Is
there a girl in that airplane with him?
I don't know. Sounds that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was listening here. It's hard to hear on this payphone, but I could have sworn I heard somebody saying, Gary.
I've been trying to get an invitation.
Was that you, Fez?
No, it wasn't Fez. I can, McHenry tried to pretend as though he thought it was the Fez.
He said he was ignoring it.
It was not the Fez.
He said he was ignoring it, but I could hear it.
It sounded that way to me, too. I thought maybe it was just me, that I was just crazy, but you actually heard it, too.
Doesn't he fly around a little two-seater?
McHenry?
Yeah.
Only on the weekends.
Yeah, little thing says WFLA on the wings. Well, like a 7-150.
On the weekends, yeah. He just cruises around and around and around Jimmy Mac's parking lot in it, saying, "Hi there, girl. You want to go for a ride?"
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that.
A lot of other girls have too. Fez has seen it too, but that's a sad, but very long story. I've got to run, but I thank you very much for that Joy 101 story. That's a great story.
Have a great weekend, Bob.
I will now.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
990-935. Great audience. Fez, you having a good time today?
Bob, whenever I'm this close to you, I always have a good time. Please,
right.
Louise.
Just move back there. Apollo Beach. Hi, you're on the air at 970 WFLA, Apollo.
Yeah, Bob, this is Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Pretty good. Hey, Bob, you know what? I think Boots Randolph is in trouble.
Who's in trouble, sir?
Boots Randolph.
Boots
I heard
Randolph.
you play that saxophone.
Oh, hey, come on, man. I could never be a Boots Randolph.
You are good.
Well, I'm really working on my breath control, and a lot of people have said to me that it is getting better.
Fantastic. Hey, Bob, what I wanted to talk about is a little bit about foreign trade. Apparently, the government's not going to do anything about it, and I'm just wondering what you think of, I think maybe there's enough union left in our country here yet that they could really do something about it if they would really try to boycott it, do a little television, radio.
I doubt it very much. Union membership in this country is down to something like 18% now.
Well, 18%. As you go into a lot of these steel mills, I go into a lot of these union places and see all these foreign cars.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You're talking about the steel mills with foreign cars in the parking lot?
Yeah, well, I'm saying that if the unions really knuckle down, some of those guys aren't going to want to buy those foreign cars.
Doesn't make any difference. What about the other, 82% of the people?
Well, I'm saying that you got to start someplace, Maybe some of that will wear off into us non-union people. I'm a flag waver, and I don't own a foreign car.
Yeah, but where was your flag made?
Huh?
Yeah, where was your flag made?
You got that right. Yeah, you got that right. In Japan, everything. Now it's Japan, China. They're all getting on the bandwagon. And it's just, something's got to give. That's all there is to it.
Oh, it's going to give. Don't you worry about it. It's going to give.
You mean ours is going to give, huh?
I think so. Has to.
Something's got to work out.
And the numbers just don't add up.
No, you got that right. I mean, anything that you buy anywhere, I don't care what the heck it is, the telephone, a calculator, a VCR, a television,
doesn't have to be that
units.
way. Doesn't have to be that way, but it is. And it's not going to change overnight. It didn't get that way overnight. It was a 20, 25, 30-year process. And it's going to take 20, 25, 30 years to unwind it.
I agree with that. That's why
it starts today.
That's why I really think the 18% could be of some help. I think maybe
except that the 18% are as bad as the 82%.
Well, they are now, but if there was more ado to make about it in the meetings, then it might be a little different story,
But that's the problem. The 18% don't show up for the meetings.
Well,
only a handful of them do.
Yeah, no, they don't all show up. That's true. But some of them do, and they put out flyers. I don't know what the answer is, but that's the only thing I can think of. But the government's not going to do anything about it, I'm sure.
Well, let me see if I can't get these worms back in the can before, you go and ruin the whole show now.
All right. See what you can do for me.
Thanks, Apollo.
Thanks, Bob.
Take care. 990-9352. That's a 9 followed by another 9, a 0. Make sure that's a 0 and not a letter O. A lot of problem there. A lot of problem with people getting the 99 letter O mixed up with the 990-9352. That would be in Hillsborough County. That's the one with the tall buildings. If you're in the one with the short buildings, you're probably in Pinellas or maybe Polk. 461-9352, 461-WFLA. If you see a lot of signs saying Disney World this way, don't even bother to call.
Open most refrigerators, and you'll probably see the same things. Milk, eggs, cold cuts, and containers.
Oh, welcome back. The live studio audience here in the studio live. Oh, thank you ever so much. That heartfelt applause. It makes all of this worthwhile. I might even turn my paycheck back in today. Where were we? 13 minutes after the hour, 5 o'clock. A Friday. Anything goes on a Friday, the 24th day of the month of February, 1900. and 89. There are two lines open. Both of them are in Hillsborough. There must be something really exciting going on in Hillsborough to have two lines open on a Friday. The number 990-9352, 990 WFLA. New Port Richey. Hi there, New. You're on the air.
Yeah, Bob, tell Shorty over there at that other station, WTKN,
to
check on his talk show host every hour on the hour, because if John Eastman dies on the air, you probably won't know it till halfway through the Astrologette show, you know? So have him check once in a while. And another thing, you know... Gary, your traffic man up there.
Oh, Gary, Gary.
He's got it made. He's got a plane. How would you like to be over there at that WTKN? You hear him screaming during the news? That's when they're strapping him to the kite.
Are you serious?
That's what that is, Shorty. Straps him to a kite and sends him up over the top.
Well, you know what used to happen over there, and this is a true story. They used to do the weather or the traffic out of a little booth, a little closet, and the closet was next door to the men's room. And occasionally, people would not remember that, and would the little handle, and but they no longer do that over there. They now do the reports from the men's room. Right in the men's room, and sometimes people don't know it and go in, and it's a terrible situation.
What's he doing when it's raining? He just sticks the receiver inside the bowl there or something?
What, Shorty? What is it? Shorty doesn't go outside when it's raining because he had a very, very unpleasant encounter with a puddle about 3 years ago. Damn near drowned. It was really, really pathetic. And so whenever it rains, Shorty stays inside, or somebody carries him out.
Hey, I heard you earlier.
In a little box. And,
Bob, I heard you earlier talking about Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Chicken Grease, right.
Well, let me tell you something. I watched that real close. And what he's got as a result of that, he's got a new hold. And in the next match, you'll see him introduce the bowling ball death hold.
Whoa, you mean just grabs a hold of the tush and squeezes it with the iron claw?
You're exactly right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, hey,
he doesn't use that on Macho Man.
Then the other thing I haven't heard mentioned on talk radio all day long.
Yeah, what's that?
Is the Japanese over there in the funeral. Did you happen to get a hold of that last night?
I saw a fair amount of it. I was somewhat fascinated.
Oh, was that...
Japanese do fascinate.
Boring. I'm just glad he...
Boring?
Aren't you glad...
It was a funeral.
It was, but I'm just glad they die every 85 years or something. You know?
I mean, I thought when they lifted up, I don't know what you would call it, but when those 80 people lifted up the little thing that the coffin was inside of, I thought that was extraordinary. It was beautiful.
Coffin? Out of respect to us, they should have buried him in a 57 Edsel or something, you know?
Well, that's a different story. That's a totally different story, but boring? Funeral?
It was bad. Hey, I had it on Channel 13, and I just noticed something, Bob.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice that Roy Leach's dog and Andy Hardy have the same hairstyle? Did you ever watch that?
Well, wait a second. Now that you mentioned it. I've got such a problem. There's some really nice people over there at 13, but I've got such a problem with that station. I don't live that far away from them, and I'm having a hell of a time with Mary every time she goes by his tower.
Hey, you got time for a Japanese story?
Do I have time for a Japanese story?
Yeah.
I don't know. How long does a Japanese story take?
It takes 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, this is a serious story, Bob. It was related to me by an old veteran. Okay, it takes place in 1942 on the aircraft carrier, the Yamamoto, named after the Great Admiral. And the Great Admiral comes out in the ship to his kamikaze pilots, and he says, "Most honorable kamikaze pilots of the Japanese Empire, today we are gathered together to win this war. What you will do today, you will follow your squadron leader off this deck at 600 hours, flying 300 miles due north.
You know your 30 seconds is over.
Following the squadron leader, 300 miles, you will dive directly into the Yankee aircraft carrier smokestack, giving up your life, blowing up your plane, winning us the war. Are there any questions?"
Minute 12.
And there's not a question, except all you can hear is the wind whippling across the desk of the aircraft carrier. And finally, one guy raises his hand. He says, "Yes, most honorable kamikaze pilot, what is it?" He says, "Most honorable Admiral, I have one question." He says, "What is it?" He said, "Are you completely out of your friggin' mind?" It's a Japanese story, Bob. World War II. What can I say? Hey, Bob.
Unbelievable. He must think that, the King of Talk Radio is still on. St. Petersburg. Hi, St. You're on the air at 970 WFLA. You get off at noon. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Bob. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic.
Is Fez still there, or did he leave?
Fez had a previous engagement that he had to take care of.
He's engaged again?
Well, no, it's that somebody stopped outside and honked the horn. And Fez went over the window, waved, the guy waved back, and Fez was gone in a flash.
He's getting pretty cheap, isn't he?
I wouldn't know. I've never discussed price with him, sir.
Anyhow, the whole WWF...
How much did he charge you?
I'm sorry, what?
How much did he charge you?
He gave me a freebie.
All right, okay.
Anyhow, to get off that, WWF situation is Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Mega Powers destroyed. Where is Elizabeth going to be whenever they had the big match?
Well, as you may or may not know, Macho Man is a personal friend of mine, as is Miss Elizabeth. And I suspect, from what I know of Miss Elizabeth, a fine, fine young woman.
Yes.
Fine tush, too, man. I want it. But a fine young woman. I believe that Miss Elizabeth will stand with Randy Macho Man Savage.
I don't know. I have a feeling she may stand in a neutral corner for the match.
Well, I'm telling you this much. I know that Miss Elizabeth is very, very health conscious. Actually, she and Macho Man met at the gym. She watches her diet very, very carefully.
Obviously.
And I don't think that she wants to have anything whatsoever to do with chicken fat.
That's true.
So consequently, there would be very, very little for her to be involved with.
Why does it seem like every time Hulk Hogan gets a tag team partner, they eventually turn on him?
Sir, chicken fat turns rancid after a spell.
I heard a big rumor that the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, he's already left the NWA. He's working in Florida with Gordon Soley, but he is supposed to be going to the WWF.
Well, I don't know. I'll tell you what. We'll check in with our sports desk, Paul Porter at the sports desk. Paul, any truth to that?
Boy, that's a good one. We'll have to check our sources to see if there's anything new on that. Bob.
Don't check your sources again.
In other sports, besides WWF, the sale of the Dallas Cowboys to Arkansas oilman Jerry Jones may be completed within 48 hours. According to team president Tex Schramm, Jones reportedly has already talked with the University of Miami head coach Jimmy Johnson about the job. Heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson weighed in at 218 pounds for tomorrow night's bout with Frank Bruno in Las Vegas.
Very special place to take a special somebody to. Maybe the kind of place that says, I'm sorry, I'll never ever do that again. Or the kind of place that can say, I'm so proud of you. I wanted to give you the very, very best of something. Or just the kind of place that lets you say, I love you. I love you very, very much. You can't do that everywhere. But there is one place that I would like to recommend to you that is good for all of that and a lot more. Cobb's Cove. Yeah, Cobb's Cove in Madeira Beach. A fine, fine restaurant. A restaurant that serves food at the table side. Serves food not at the table side. It's a place that's intimate. It's a place that's comfortable. It's a place that's casual. It's a place that's elegant. It's a piano bar. It's everything you want it to be. Cobb's Cove. And it's a great place to go to say things like, I love you, I'm sorry, or I'm proud of you, or anything you want to say. You take somebody to Cobb's Cove, and they're not going to forget it. You're not going to forget it either. An extraordinary restaurant, an extraordinary night of dining. Cobb's Cove. Let me give you the address, okay? 13155 Gulf Boulevard, Madeira Beach. The telephone number, 393-3448. 393-3448. Tableside service, flambe desserts, quality. Cobb's Cove. You'll never, ever forget it. I promise you. And tell them, if you would, that Lassiter asked you to stop by. Tampa. Hi, Tampa. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hello.
Hello.
A couple things. First, I'd like to verify that Dusty Rhodes is coming to the WWF.
Oh, my goodness. Isn't that exciting?
It is true.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Morton Downey Jr. last night?
Did I see Morton Downey Jr. last night? Do you really think I would stay up that late?
Well, I worked odd hours. But, a couple months ago, you gave
You're
a
probably
show.
the first person that has mentioned Morton Downey Jr. on the show in 3 months.
A couple months ago, you did a show on a mythical state representative.
Oh, yeah.
And, there was a man on there who was a state representative who emulated your character. He was for real. And every one of the things you made up.
What about
the
death penalty?
No, about pay-per-view, about castration, about he wanted lashes, 40 or 50 lashes for drug dealers. He wanted hand cut off for
he's the guy from what, Maryland, I believe?
Indiana.
Indiana, okay.
And there was one from Delaware who was the same and these were for real. And I wonder if you had gotten your character from this guy.
No, sir.
Because it was eerie. It was eerie.
Sir. I have no problem whatsoever in stealing good material from other people, but when I do, I give credit. And most of my stuff is mildly original, except for the things that I stole from Don Richards, like, Fluffy the Cat and Bob the Automated Talk Show host. But anything else I've stolen, I have given credit for.
It was eerie how close in every instance this man's opinions were congruent with the...
With Don Richards?
No. I was wondering, have you had the, the tasty cakes, the 4-in-a-row cupcakes?
Do I know the tasty cakes? Give me a break. What do you mean, do I know the inside and out? So I own a share of Tasty Cake stock.
But the 4 cupcakes are the best. But I don't appreciate putting down the oatmeal raisins, which happen to be one of my favorites.
Sir, the oatmeal raisins are only intended for people in the South. They would never try to sell those to people.
I don't know. I wonder about Tasty Cakes. Are they some kind of cheap brand, or I don't know? They seem like some kind of Southern brand, or so. I don't know. I feel like their stuff sat on the shelves about 2 or 3 times.
Oh, young man.
Yes.
Would you kindly hold the phone very, very close to your ear? Are you doing so?
Yes, sir. It just seems like they've sat on the shelf like maybe 3 or 4 times. I don't know dates.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, how could you possibly say some kind of cheap? I mean, you sound to me like some kind of a redneck Southern yahoo who was raised on Coca-Cola and Drake's cakes.
Well, I do happen to favor Drake's cakes. But, Little Debbie's happen to be the best.
No one, sir, could favor Drake's cakes. Drake's cakes are the kind of things that you would eat only when you live out in the boondocks and the general store carries nothing else because they get a kickback on them.
But I don't understand those cakes. They seem kind of dry, and a lot of them don't have any filling in the middle. Do you know what I mean?
Sir,
sometimes they're just straight.
Sir, yeah, that's
dry cake.
Precisely, that's it precisely, sir. Not all tasty cakes have filling in the middle. But I'll tell you what. I'll send somebody over to discuss this with you in person with a crowbar. Don Richards standing by the WFLA News Desk. Don?
Frost will form. It will be colder tonight than last night. We can expect upper 20s inland, low 30s near the water. Coldest air of the season settles in. We're not alone as we shiver. All-time low for Key West.
Rick, the Nature Boy Flair, has fallen from his throne.
When did that happen?
At the Chi-Town Rumble on the 20th, 3 days ago.
Gee, I guess I didn't read the paper that day.
That Mildred Burke's dying. I don't know how you can miss all this stuff. We have had earlier problems. Dale Mabry along, southbound Dale Mabry along 275. In Spaz's honor, though, they did pull off to the side. I-4 and I-75 had a 6-car collision. I-4 eastbound at I-75, the overpass area. At that point, eastbound Howard Frankman at the hump. I knew that'd bring on a reaction. A slow mover. Speaking of reactions, very slow mover. In fact, it had become disabled right about the hump. Sound familiar? Park Boulevard and 50th Street. Earlier problem.
Slow mover with you, Geary.
That accident wrapping up now. Of course, that's very close to US 19 and Park Boulevard. A lot of traffic on 275 in Tampa from West Shore into downtown. It is just barely crawling along. I'm Gary McHenry, 970 WFLA Airborne Traffic.
News Radio 970
I tell you, the only PG-rated traffic reports in the market. Tampa, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hello, Bob.
Oh, hi, Tampa.
My name's Jesse. I'm from Gibsonton, really.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, my name is Robert. I'm from Collingswood.
Okay, well, I'm a first-time caller. I've been listening to you for about 2.5 years now. I listen to you when you're over on the other station. I'm glad you're back in the normal time slot here.
Well, actually, this is where I started in this market. I started in an afternoon drive.
Well, that's good. I called to tell you I went to the car wash the other day that you've been advertising in the Gandy there.
Grand Prix Car Wash, yeah.
And they did an excellent job.
Fantastic. They normally do.
And I called to say hi to you and that. I'm not that much of a talker, but I just wanted to let you know I went there, and I'm very pleased with the people out there.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Be
have
good.
A good day.
Take care. Off we go down to Tampa. Hi, Tampa. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hello, baby. This is the big-time wrestler, Mad Harry, with the WIBWDDF.
talking at you about big-time championship wrestling, baby.
Big-time championship wrestling?
Let's be running wrestling down, baby, because, you know, they write so many tricks. There are no gimmicks, there are no tricks. It's me and my chainsaw and flamethrower in the ring.
Uh-huh.
Mad Harry, you know, baby, I'm big-time championship wrestling. I was on this morning with your main man, Mr. Jack Harris. I was on the air with him today, and I'll be appearing on the Crackers Comedy Club as part of the comedy show tonight and tomorrow night.
Uh-huh.
And it's wrestling at its all-time finest, baby. It's 24-hour Roman Rodeo, Texas Tornado, Marathon, Battle Royal Tag Team, Blood Grudge, Chainsaw, Bullwhip, Slugfest, Waterbed, Zucchini, Lime, Jello, 14-year-old Filipino girl deathmatch.
Does the name Regine M. Russell mean anything to you?
Not yet, Daddy.
That's Regine M. Russell of Tampa, Florida?
That name means nothing to me, but it will soon.
Well, possibly on March 16th you may hear that name again, because I have just drawn that name out of the box of names, and Regine M. Russell of Tampa is the newest finalist in the Learjet Fantasy contest.
Well, her Learjet Fantasy may be to be up there with Mad Harry in the skies, baby.
Well, actually, no. She says she wants to go to Phoenix, Arizona to see her granddaughter.
There ain't nothing in Phoenix, Arizona, baby. It's all wrestling. It's all here in Tampa.
Well, her granddaughter's there.
Well, for now. Wait till she gets a hold of wrestling with Mad Harry. She'll be right back out here, baby.
Well, maybe.
You get all those WWIBWNF fans out to Crackers Comedy Nightclub to see big-time wrestling and stand-up comedy, Daddy. And thank you for having me on.
Crackers Comedy Nightclub with big-time wrestling and comedy, too.
Stand-up comedy, big-time wrestling. The Donkey Women of Trinidad, it's all there for you, baby.
The Donkey Women of Trinidad.
It's all there, baby. We got it all happening out there.
Excuse me, I must admit to you, sir, that I wasn't really listening very closely to your call as I was thinking about the Learjet contest. And by the way, anybody that would want to take part in the Learjet contest would have to jot down their name and address and phone number and send it to us here at 970 WFLA, 801 East Jackson Street, 33602, along with the destination of their fantasy. But I wasn't listening. Could you possibly explain a little bit in more detail, not terribly graphically perhaps, but at least in a little bit more detail, the Donkey Woman of where was that?
Well, it's part of the all-time comedy wrestling program we have at the Crackers. It's the Donkey Women of Trinidad. We also got a brand new sport. We got a brand new sport we're introducing out there.
Well, we can get to the new sport in just a moment if perhaps we could have a little bit more of an explanation of the Donkey of Trinidad.
Okay, well, what we did was to help enhance our wrestling profile in the community, we decided to bring in some international flavor to it. So we went to the island of Trinidad, and we found the famous Donkey Women of Trinidad. And these are women who wrestle donkeys in various positions and poses to help out their own careers in the world of wrestling.
You actually have donkeys in the ring?
Absolutely. We got it all happened there, baby. We got donkeys in the ring. We got nude, gay, CPA, mud wrestling. We got it all there, baby. We got a brand new sport: professional Indian midget women's mud donkey tag team lesbian high-lie. This is unbelievable, Daddy.
It certainly sounds unbelievable. That's an and this is at Crackers.
That's right. It's all at the Crackers Comedy Club. It's all out there for you. We got stand-up comedy. We got the Great Psychosis performing his mind, his mentalism. We got comedian Hank McGill. We got headliner Mark Klein, and of course, big-time Mad Harry professional wrestler will be there.
Were you really on with Harris this morning?
I was on with Harris this morning. I was on him like a cheap suit.
Did he invite you on, or did you kind of, blast your way through on the phones as you've done here?
Well, you know, they had those comedy guys on his show this morning to be part of his radio show promotion, and we kind of went in there on the slide, and I was on him like a big dog in a meat house, I'll tell you, baby.
Are you talking about the Great Schumann and Maseko, those comedy guys?
No. I was on the Harris program, Daddy. The FM end of it.
No, I appreciate that, but you said he had the comedy guys on.
Yeah.
Well, I asked, is that the Great Schumann and Maseko?
No, he had comedian Mark Klein on this morning.
Oh, I see.
You ever see his film career? He was the stunt horse in Caligula.
No. Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely. Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. I don't believe it for a minute.
Well, it's all unbelievable wrestling action out there, baby. You know, you got to watch out the lies that the press tells about people involved in show business, especially big-time wrestling, Daddy. Look at me. They say I'm heartless and cruel. That's not true. I love children. I love small animals. I did 10 years in prison to prove that.
Is that a fact? What can poor TKN hope to do? Just it's nothing they can. 10 years, that's great. And you'll be at Crackers anytime now, huh?
That's right. We're appearing at Crackers tonight and tomorrow night. Shows at 8 o'clock and 10:30. If you have no taste, if you have no life, you must be there.
Who tends the donkeys in between matches?
We have had a very special assistant to do that. The tattooed woman of Madagascar.
Wait a second. Just a Fez left at 10 after 5. What time do the donkeys get to the club?
It all starts happening about 8 o'clock and 10:30. 2 shows tonight and tomorrow night.
8 o'clock and 10. Well, what about Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays?
Well, see, they have other shows. They got another show coming in next week, but tonight and tomorrow night's your last night to catch this big professional wrestling extravaganza and stand-up comedy show.
Oh, where will the donkey women be next week?
They'll be going on to Daytona Beach next week.
Right on to Daytona Beach.
A special spring break of their own, if you know what I'm hinting at here.
Donkey wrestling is big in Daytona these days?
That's right. It's being promoted by the tattooed woman. She's been handling the donkey women of Trinidad. She got that special tattooed upside down on her back. It says, "Let go of my ears. I know what I'm doing."
Does she normally display this? Does she normally display this tattoo during the course of the performance?
That all depends on the audience, of course.
Well, I'm really glad that you checked in with this, and I'm even gladder that I eventually started to listen to you. I was just going to blow you off as another cheap Friday imitator, but golly gee, this is incredible.
No, but this is a real thing. This is getting down and getting dirty. You know, I get you in the ring, I hit you so hard your dog would die. I will go through you like X-Lax through a one-legged widow woman. You know what I'm talking about here, Daddy?
If I really thought that if I let you hit me so hard my dog would die, I might put you on hold and get your phone number. But hey, fella, good luck with the donkey women tonight. I've got to move along because Don Richards is at the WFLA news desk, and I know that he's just chomping at the bit to follow this. Thank you, audience. Thank you. Fantastic. Live studio audience today, of course, really adding to the show. No doubt you can tell the difference there at home. Who knows, maybe someday we'll even go to a live studio audience almost every day of the week. Not a chance of it, but I thought I'd say it anyway. A couple of things to remind you of. First of all, next Friday, this time and slot, next Friday will be the WTKN Radiothon. WTKN will be 1 year old next Friday. Well, actually, what it is the guy that makes the plates, the little plate maker, Shorty Obarski and his friends, took over from a gigantic broadcasting company 1 year ago next Friday. And as everybody who has any access to the industry's ratings knows that Shorty Obarski has taken that station well under a 1. We feel very, very bad about that, and we want to help him out. We've done everything in our power to help him out over the past year, giving him lots of suggestions over the air, none of which he has taken. So what we are going to do next Friday is actually hold a radiothon. We're going to ask you people to dig deep down into your pockets and pledge time. Call up and say, I will listen to WTKN for 3 minutes a day, every day for the next 2 months. Whatever it works, whatever you feel that you can afford, whatever you feel that your head can afford, will be the situation next Friday. Also, don't forget the entire month of March, anybody that sends in a postcard guessing how many times Schmo from Odessa will call the station, any show, doesn't make any difference, during the month of March, the person who guesses close will get a WTKN T-shirt. We don't have any WFLA T-shirts to give away, but what the hell, a WTKN T-shirt would be much, much more prestigious anyway, since nobody else has one. They only give them out to their listeners. So that's what it is. I want you guys to have yourselves a great weekend. We'll do it again on Monday at 3 o'clock. Would you behave yourselves now?
Have you ever gone to a restaurant and asked the waiter was cold or if it was fresh or if it was frozen or